Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the September Economic Data Release call. We are excited to share this information with you today, and we are going to let Adrienne get started. Just want to remind everyone to please keep yourself on mute, your videos off so that we can have a clear recording for afterwards. We will take questions in the chat after Adrienne's finished with her presentation. Thank you so much.
All right, good morning, everyone. At 10 a.m. this morning, the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity released September 2020 labor statistics for the state of Florida and its sub-state areas. This includes all metropolitan areas, counties, and large cities. These data were produced by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics through a federal state cooperative agreement with the DEO, Workforce Statistics and Economic Research Bureau, and were collected through a combination of employer and household surveys, administrative records, and statistical modeling techniques. This morning, I will walk you through the details of the data release, and I will start with the household survey. So just bear with me for a moment while I switch over to share my screen so you can see the presentation. The current population survey is used to estimate Florida's unemployment rate, total labor force, and labor force participation rate under the local area unemployment statistics program. Since these statistics are based on a survey of households, they capture information about individuals, not jobs, and are calculated by place of residence, not place of work. Florida's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate in September 2020 was 7.6%. This represented 770,000 jobless individuals out of a labor force of 10,143,000. Florida's September 2020 unemployment rate was up 0.3 percentage point from the revised August 2020 rate and up 4.7 percentage points from the September 2019 rate. Florida's September unemployment rate was lower than the national rate of 7.9%. Florida's labor force was 10,143,000 in September 2020. This was down 260,000 from the September 2019 level. This was a decline of 2.5%. In September 2020, Osceola County had the highest unemployment rate with 13.3%, followed by Miami-Dade County with 13%. Lafayette County had the state's lowest unemployment rate with 3.4%, followed by Wakulla County, 3.6%. Job creation data for Florida is derived from the Current Employment Statistics, or CES survey conducted by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. This survey collects data from up to 20,000 Florida businesses and establishments each month to measure jobs by industry across the state. Since these statistics are based on a survey of employers, they measure counts of jobs, not individuals, and they capture characteristics of employers, such as industry and place of work. Total non-agricultural employment grew to 8,532,500 jobs in September 2020. This was up 47,300 jobs, or 0.6% from August 2020. This figure was down 451,100 jobs from a year ago, an over-the-year decline of 5%. Florida's private sector non-agricultural employment was 7,436,600 jobs in September 2020. This was up 36,100 jobs, or 0.5% from August 2020. Total private employment was down 419,900 jobs from September 2019. This is an over-the-year decline of 5.3%. There are differences in what is included in the employment estimates for these two different data series. The LAUS, or labor force employment, includes self-employed agricultural workers, as well as unpaid workers who work 15 hours or more in a family-operated enterprise, and workers who are absent from work without pay during the reference week, while the CES survey does not include any of these categories of workers. These factors can contribute to different fluctuations on a monthly basis. Remember, it is better to look at longer-term trends than just a few months. As of September 2020, the labor force employment level is at 92% of what it was in February 2020, and the CES employment level is at 94%. These two series are on a similar recovery path. Typically, the CES employment is lower than the LAUS employment by about 11%. In the months of April to July 2020, that gap got smaller, anywhere from 2 to 4%. And as of September 2020, we are back up to 9%, so much closer to where we were previously. 8 out of 10 major industry sectors in Florida gained jobs over the month. All major industries lost jobs over the year. Trade, transportation, and utilities gained 12,900 jobs over the month, and this was driven by 8,600 jobs gained in retail trade. Government added 11,200 jobs over the month, largely driven by local government job gains. And education and health services added 6,900 jobs over the month. The industries that lost jobs over the month were other services and construction. The 2020 seasonally adjusted local area data showed that 20 of the 24 metro areas in Florida had over the month job gains. The West Palm Beach metro area gained the most jobs with 10,100, and Panama City grew the fastest at a rate of 2%. Other metro areas gaining jobs over the month were Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, Deerfield Beach metro area with 6,800 jobs, and Miami Beach, Kendall metro area with 6,400 jobs. That concludes the summary of data released this morning. However, as I've mentioned before, there are other data series available from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics that provide valuable context for understanding the current economic recovery. The data series I am showing now comes from the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, or JOLTS, and it has just recently been made available at the state level as an experimental data series. According to the survey, job openings in Florida had been steadily increasing since the end of the previous recession in 2009, peaking in December 2018 before starting a rapid decline beginning in April 2020. From April through June 2020, the number of job openings fell by 72,000. Monthly hiring has followed a similar pattern, peaking in October 2019 at 398,000 jobs before declining to a low of 315,000 jobs in April. Hiring began to rebound in May with 349,000 hires and increased an additional 14,000 by June 2020. Data through September will be released in December 2020. Finally, I'd like to share with you the preliminary estimate for the 2021 duration of benefits for reemployment assistance. Each year, our Bureau calculates the third calendar quarter average unemployment rate for purposes of determining the maximum number of weeks that will be made available in the next year for reemployment assistance benefits. Today, Florida's preliminary third quarter unemployment rate is 8.7%. This translates to a total of 19 total weeks for the maximum duration of benefits. Please note that these are preliminary estimates. The revised September unemployment rate will be released on November 20th. At that time, we will finalize the duration of benefits. And that concludes my remarks.
Thank you so much, Adrian. And we will now take questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to include them in the meeting chat. Today's question should be related to the information that was provided during the presentation or any questions about the economic data release numbers for September. We will answer any reemployment assistance questions offline at media@deo.myflorida.com. Does anyone have any questions? Mike, if you can type your question into the chat, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I'm not used to Teams.
Caroline, if you can submit your question in the chat, we'll answer it from there.
I don't know if anyone else is having this problem. My chat doesn't seem to be loading. I'll try to get it working though.
Okay. So Nilda Blanco asked, is it possible to get a job loss number by county?
Hi, Nilda. Absolutely. So all of that information is posted on our website. If you go to floridajobs.org/economic-data, you'll be able to see the breakdown of job change by county.
Thank you, Adrian. Mike Vasalinda asked, do you have a feel for the number of discouraged workers?
It's a great question. We do have the ability to drill down into some of that data. It does take a little bit of time. There's some underlying statistics available to us that come from the same survey that produces the unemployment rate. So we will take that back and get that back to you as soon as we can.
Mike, we'll be sure to follow up with you. Caroline Glenn asked, for many months, the Orlando metro area has had the worst unemployment in the state, but has now been bumped to second by the Miami area. Can you explain this?
So looking at the unemployment rate, I think Osceola is still the highest unemployment rate in the state right now. But one thing I would point out is we're looking at monthly changes in the unemployment rates, and typically in a normal year, I would caution against looking at those over the month rates because of the way the survey is conducted. It's not seasonally adjusted. So of course we have to do that right now because of the nature of what we're trying to track, and we can't compare it to year over year right now. So that being said, it's still valuable to look at the over the month changes. It's still valuable to compare areas to each other, but just I do want to caution about reading too much into changes over the month like that in terms of the rankings. It's better to kind of give some time and look and see if that trend sticks around for a while.
Christine asked if she can get the same information that Mike asked for by county, so we can get that out to you, Christine.
Well, just to clarify, so that information is available at the state level. We do not have a drill down of the discouraged workers by county. So we can provide it by state. We can get some insights if you compare it to the unemployment rate for that area, but we do not have that available at the county level.
Nilda Blanco's follow-up question. Adrian, to confirm, these numbers do not account for the larger layoff just announced in the Orlando area.
Great question. These numbers are based on the reference week of the 12th for the month of September. So you're going to have to, base it on any activity that was going on at that time. So if a layoff was just announced in the last week or 2 weeks or any time after that period, it would not be included in these statistics.
Does anyone have any other questions? Great, Caroline, that was a good question. So for the 2021 duration, when will that go into effect? And I'm assuming you're talking about the additional weeks for reemployment assistance, and I'll let Adrian handle that question.
Yeah, so the new duration of benefit number will go into effect on January 1 of 2021. And just a reminder that we will have the finalized number with next month's released.
And our press release should be going out shortly that will have some additional information for you as well. Any other questions related to the economic data release? Sarah Gerard asked how much that is expected to change.
That's a great question. So I caution and remind you that this is preliminary. We typically have very small revisions to our unemployment rate, and that's what we're looking for, is to see if there are any revisions to the September unemployment rate when we release the revised number next month. Typically, they're small. They can vary anywhere from 0.1 percentage point. We just saw a revision for August of a little bit more than that. So it's too soon to tell. So I can't give you a solid answer on that, but we'll know more next month.
And to clarify, that will be for new claims in 2021. So that will be for new claimants who are filing a new claim in 2021 starting January 1st. Tom Urban asked, are more people looking for work now than in past months? Is that helping to increase the jobless rate?
So that's an interesting question this month in particular. And what we found is overall, the labor force number did decline. But what we are seeing is an increase in the number of people who are saying that they are unemployed but looking for work. So it could be that people are more encouraged to look for work, and so they're counting themselves as unemployed. But I will point out that overall the labor force did decline over the month.
You're making. So Mike Vasalinda and Caroline Glenn have a very similar question. So their question is, if someone has exhausted benefits in 2020, can they reapply in 2021?
So that's a question that I think is better suited for our reemployment assistance program experts. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them, but we will get that information back to you.
We'll be happy to send that to both of you. The last call for questions. Great. Going once. Thank you so much. If you have any follow-up questions, there will you can email us at media@deo.myflorida.com. Again, you can follow up with us at media@deo.myflorida.com. Thank you so much.